Ciao, darlings. Happy October. I'm in very Libra mode. I have changed 3, maybe 4 times before recording this, and I have attempted, this is my 4th attempt to record this video. So we're getting into October. And as the title of the video says, buckle up. Nothing is slowing down, and like I've said numerous times, I definitely don't want that to be a fear-based, like, oh my God, like, Sarah, I need you, tell me what's going on. It's like, everything I offer you is for you to empower yourself to live your most authentic life, for you to be able to do everything that I do. I want to empower you to know what's coming with the astrology. Maybe utilize some tarot or some metaphysical practices so you feel safe and grounded to go back out there into the world. Because we cannot hide from these energies. We cannot hide from what's happening on the planet right now. No matter where you are in your, I don't want to even say awakening, but in your, self-development process, that's exactly where you are meant to be. And we meet each other, if this is your first time here, usually when you've been repeating the same pattern over and over and over and over again, and maybe you're a little confused as to why you're doing this, and you're really unhappy, and you really are ready to find yourself again. Find yourself again. It may seem gargantuan, it may seem monumental, but I promise you, the more you do this work, your higher self, God, the universe, you become so blessed that those perceived mountains, you're just taking in one step. Things that you need, you have access to immediately. Everything changes in the blink of an eye when you courageously and authentically face yourself. Yeah. There's nothing to fear when you close your eyes and you meditate. It's just all the guk and all of the different things, and sometimes you just don't know how to navigate it. That's when you find me, my dears. So, welcome. That was a very long introduction to who I am. If this is your first time here, hello, my dear, my darling, my beautiful, precious little light. I'm Sarah. I'm a spiritual counselor, I'm a starseed, I'm a healer, I'm a consciousness from a different time and space that has come down to run this human avatar, Sarah, during this time, during the awakening, to help you make sense of what's going on, to help guide you back to you. That's it. That's it. It's my pleasure. It's my honor to be here, my darling. So please take a moment and pause this video. I'll give you a space to pause and go grab your journal. Go grab a coffee and tea. Go grab some water, maybe some rocks and stones if you have them. If you have tarot cards or some woo-woo, join me. I always have a chair here for you, my dear. This is a multi-dimensional cafe. We are transcending time and space just by being here together. So please, we'll pause the video and go grab your provisions, and then we'll come back with chat. Pause. Boop. Let's do it. Okie dokie. So, October. This is eclipse season. This is, really intense, fun energies where we can hop timelines and paradigms in a breath, in a decision, in a vibration. And, for a lot of my clients right now, it's your end result. Can't fuck it up. Can't fuck it up if you try. But getting there, infinite timelines. Infinite timelines. So you can be on your most authentic timeline and then gossip because it's really good tea over here, and then you're over here, and then it feels really gross, and you got to unpack some things, you go to the whys, and then the inner adolescent, the FOMO, and then come back. So it's happening quickly, but we need to really slow down. We need to really slow down to make sense of a little bit of what's going on, because we have a lot of different transits that are happening in the month of October. Eclipses are just super powered new moons and super powered full moons. What do we already know about new moons? Perfect time to manifest. Perfect time to plant seeds for what it is that we do want. What do we know about full moons? We all become the werewolf. It's perfect time to purge, to release, and that big bright old moon in the sky is highlighting something that maybe you weren't privy to, and now you can make more authentic, more empowered decisions as your sovereign self moving forward. So we're going to deep dive into a bunch of different things today. I'm going to give you just a little bit, and then as we get closer to those events, I'll put out more of the introductory videos for the occurrences. First transit that we have coming up is on the 3rd. We have Lilith, Black Moon Lilith. Can we see over here? Sorry. Going from Leo, where it has been for 9 months, into Virgo, where it will be for 9 months. I have an entire video on Lilith. I'm going to put the link in the description below for all the videos that I'm referencing. I just have a feeling that this video is going to be seen by more people, so please welcome. If it is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm grateful for you being here. It is the perfect time for you to be bumping into a spiritual counselor. It's really like maybe the term life coach, or I'm here for you. I'm here for you to find yourself again. Yeah, that's me. So I'm not going to repeat myself when it comes to Lilith, because I have an entire video on that when it comes to the mythology, the archetype, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm all painted in that video, so it's a lot of fun. You can see more of like my human artistic side. It's a good video. So we know that this has a lot to do with the deep, dark feminine, the wild feminine, and really incorporating that. So with what I had kind of described in that video, I'm not going to give you all of it, but the transit of Lilith in Leo within the northern hemisphere was kind of just like the new thong bikini trend. That was pretty fucking cool. And what I feel is though Lilith going into Virgo is going to be like Virgo, everyday life, practical service. We're going from fixed positive fire energy to mutable negative earth energy. So this really all coincides with how people are blossoming into their awakening right now. I feel as though, I'm a spiritual counselor, but because I cannot go back into corporate, I'm helping you to come out of that. I waiter at a beautiful fine dining restaurant. So what we're going to find is, just like me, you're going to have, very, very woo-woo, very spiritual waiters, baristas. I need empowered and spiritual architects. I need powered like plumbers, builders, like every single type of job. Every single type of job, every single type of profession, every single type of realm, we aren't going to be like, with just this transit alone, I find that people are going to be so much more comfortable and confident to say, oh, no, I have an astrologer. Yeah, I don't make decisions unless I check with them. Absolutely not. No, that's absurd. No. She like comes from corporate and speaks corporate, but like her favorite quote is JP Morgan's, millionaires don't follow astrology, but billionaires do. Yeah, no. I would never sign anything Mercury's retrograde. Like you'll have those types of moments where this woo-woo, the spiritual, all of that jargon, all of that, the metaphysical practices will become mainstream. Will become everywhere. You will not be able to avoid it. This awakening is like we've been planting redwood seeds. You can't, like it's like the redwood's going to start sprouting, and you're like, shit, this is in my front yard. This is going to happen. I can't avoid that. Everybody is becoming the most authentic version of themselves, and I'm staying like a wretched son of a gun. Shit, I'm going to have to do something about that. Yeah, you're going to have to. So definitely go watch Lilith. Check that one out. I find that to be a really beautiful, beautiful video. And so Lilith will be in the sign of Virgo for 9 months. Again, it has so much to do with the feminine, and just definitely go check that video out. And I reference in the description of that video a book that I linked to Amazon that you can purchase that has really been helpful for me. It's a wonderful reference book because we all have Lilith in our chart. We have the natal Lilith as well as the transiting Lilith. So tons of information in that video, tons of references for you. On the next day, on the 4th, we're going to have Mercury, our planet of communication, going into the sign of Libra. Yeah. So communication, our individual Hermes, our collective Hermes, the way we receive information, the way we communicate. We had a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Virgo, and Virgo is run by Mercury, so it was very, very much at home. So I find when Mercury goes into the sign of Libra, And there's so many different things that we can talk about that is kind of overlapping with what it is that I'm about to say. We have the Mars and the South Node in Libra transit, the Sun in Libra, like so much that we can discuss there. But I think that what this is going to bring is a little bit of a highlight on where your emotional intelligence actually lies. Can you communicate from I statements? Are you communicating from I statements? Even within a disagreement, say, wow, thank you for sharing your opinion with me and your perspective. I disagree completely, but I appreciate your perspective and I respect you. Or it's going to be, why the fuck, pardon my French, why the fuck won't you participate in the way that I need to see the world? You're really fucking up my psychosis that's going on right now. And this is the only reality that I can understand because I do not want to look inside of myself. So I'm going to lash out irrationally at you. It's going to be very, very easy to see this complete divide of belief systems, of understanding. But I truly, truly in my bones just believe that it is an emotional maturity that will show through when it comes to all of this air energy over here. So if they need to pop off, let them pop off and just view them with love and reverence. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. The next day, on the 5th, we have Mars conjuncting with the South Node or opposite the North Node. I have a little video that I've already put out on, I'm following the Mars in Libra and the South Node in Libra transit. Definitely you can go watch the Libra equinox season introductory video. I highlight a lot of what this information already, I don't want to repeat myself again because I love my community and I'm so grateful for all of you being here, but I understand how long range I can be with my stuff. So I'm trying to not repeat myself over and over and over again, but that is going to be that little like test, for lack of a better term, that I've been talking about. Again, this divide I find in Libra season, I balance. Aries is I am. That's where the North Node is. Libra is I balance, or, as Pam Gregory, one of my favorite astrologers, we are. Like, this is descendant sign stuff, the relationships, the important people in my life. So really, the planets are giving us this opportunity to say inside, I'm going to respond. I'm not going to react. Someone is spicy over there. I see you. I honor you. You're triggering my human. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to take as long as I need to respond. Between action and reaction, there is that pause. I don't even know who said that quote. And in that pause is your glory. Is your glory. Is your everything. If you cannot respond, then just say, I'm going to time out, I'm going to unpack this, and I'm going to tend to it, and I will respond later on. I'm not going to sign shit. I'm going to take care of myself, make my decisions, and then come back and see what's best for me, my team, my flock, my family, all those people. So that's what we're going to do there. That's literally like the first fucking week of October. So again, I'm not going to go full hog into everything, but that's the first week. Okay, the second week. We have Venus finally leaving Leo on the 8th. Venus, we had a Venus retrograde over the summer, over the winter. We really reassessed and unpacked our value systems. Relationships ended. Some people really didn't listen to the planets and the stars, and they maybe cut their hair, and they really shouldn't have, and now they're just dealing with the repercussions of their own motherfucking actions and stuff like that. So what I think is going to be happening now is all of those values that we really decided on. Like, Leo naturally runs the 5th house over here. Creativity, play, romance, childlike spirits, kiddos, and joy. So some people, interesting. Some people have decided that they're not going to be having families, that they're not going to be having children. And if you have decided that, amazing. Discuss it with your partner ASAP. Talk about it, and really, South Node in Libra. If you are with someone and there is a foundational belief that you do not share, I want kids, I do not want kids, there's no place that those two ideals merge. So if you need to cite irreconcilable differences, if you need to say together, There's no place where the train tracks come together. We are on a train track towards nothing. You have to acknowledge that. Just acknowledge it. You don't have to make those big old changes now. I understand that that's a big deal. It's a big deal. You know, for my full moon in Aries video or reading for Libra risings, a lot of you have gone through breakups already. A lot of you have experienced this knowing already. Check where Libra is in your chart. There's going to be some version of a, how do I say? For myself, I'll speak from I statements and I'll share with you like what that is. My 12th house is run by Libra. And the amount of karmic cycles, contracts that I have ended is monumental, absolutely monumental. And I'm giving myself the pause to really like integrate this new space for healthy activities, like this new, like complete new trajectory for my human avatar. And that was me letting go of a lot. It's me letting go of a lot. Like very easily could I go back to corporate, get a corporate job, do the thing, make the paper, do that. But how authentic would that be when I am desperately trying to help awaken you and give you the healer that you need to help you out of that? I can't do that. So that is me trusting in my high self, my God of my understanding, to create the environment that I need to do the work that they're asking me to do. And I trust that without, I don't need to know how, I don't need to know when. That is not my business. That is not my job description. It's just to show up for you and to offer as many tools that I possibly can for you and as many teachings and guidances as I can for you. So that is me. So find where is Libra in your chart. What house is that? Where is this all going on? Because there's newness coming, and I'll talk about that with the new moon. So Venus going into Virgo, again, I find that our new value systems, everything about, we're finding ourselves in a way that this Libra season, we don't really know what we want right now, a lot of us. We know what we don't want and we know what does not serve us. So we're learning how to say no. I find that right now we're really learning how to say no. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Pluto, our outermost planet. He's going direct in Capricorn on the 10th. So we've all been experiencing this very odd PTSD, this flashback of whatever has been going on for you since 2008 in your Capricorn run house, that area of your house. It's going to get better. We're going into the Aquarian age. We're all's well here. I think I have a Pluto in Aquarius. I do. I have a whole video on Pluto in Aquarius. Let me see if I can find that and put the link to that. That was back in March. So Pluto is going to be in the sign of Aquarius in 2024 for 9 months, and it's going to fully go into Aquarius in December 2024, I want to say, and then it's going to be in the sign of Aquarius for 20 years. So for many people, that's the rest of their life. This is like a big motherfucking deal, basically. I first went into Aquarius on my birthday this year. I know, it was obviously me. That's Libra season. In a nutshell. Like, go back and watch some of my introductory videos for the full moons, the new moons, the seasons, the signs, the whole thing, because I fully embody like the way that it is. My God, my hair was luscious and lovely and wild and wonderful for Leo season, and then in Virgo season I was like everyone okay out there? How's your nervous system doing? How's your belly? You taking your probiotics? And now I'm like, I'm going to change again. It's so good. I love it. Okay. So Pluto's going to go direct. And then on the 12th, we have Mars going into Scorpio. Thank God. And then on the 14th, we're going to have the new moon in Libra, which is an eclipse. Holy fuck. I know. Mars going into Scorpio. Scorpio is run by Pluto and Mars, so it will be not as spicy as Mars in a fire sign, but it's going to be relationships will end. Once we have the Mars in the South Node conjunction, what did I say? That's on the 5th. The next week, it's literally a week after when Mars finally goes into Scorpio. Like, it's time. It's time. It will be so apparent. Like, it'll be so apparent that you are manipulating, that you are grasping, that you are just really either diminishing yourself or lying, completely lying for that relationship, for that person. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, a little bit interesting. But so when we have the new moon eclipse, that's at 21 degrees of Libra. My guides are talking to me, pardon. They want me to remind you of this like phrasing. I saw this video, or they're showing me this soundbite basically, which is when they show me that, it's basically me telling you that this is not my original language. Like, no one in the spiritual world right now, no one in the astrology world, no one anywhere is reinventing the wheel. We're just giving you the vibrations and the information in a way that's accessible for you. And so if this information, if the way that I talk and the way that I sound and the way that I, have the wheel behind me, if that does not resonate with you, then please scroll past my face. It's not for me, or it's not for you. So what they're telling me is that, like, it was either Joe Rogan or like divine masculine men having a podcast, basically. And whenever you say something, think of God, think of your high self, whomever, saying, got it, for this new moon. Being like, I want a marriage that is healthy. I'm ready to call in my divine partner. Got it. I'll never find love. Got it. I'll be single for fucking ever. Got it. I want to be a multi-millionaire so that I can help and start charities and really hold space for people all over the world. Got it. See what I mean? We cannot discredit this work and we cannot avoid this energy. So when we go into it blindly, we're just like letting the human avatar have their record of whatever the brain is saying. We're remembering the future with the lens of the past, whereas we have to be very, very clear on these new moons, very, very clear. And if ever that is intimidating or intense or anxiety producing, just go above. If manifesting is not your language, if this is something that's very new to you, I am safe. I am healthy. My family is protected. I am surrounded by healthy, honest, vibrant people. Oh my God, this was a few years ago. I heard something that, and this is like, I want to say he's a tarot reader, Chris Christini, I want to say. He had changed his mantra from I trust the people around me to I am surrounded by trustworthy people. Yeah, try that one on. Try that one on and see what happens. Yeah, just like I said at the beginning of Libra season, fuck around and you will find out. So with that new moon, and I will get into it, I'll do an entire video and then all the things. I'll get all the things for you. So you'll have a lot more information. You'll have a lot more resources for that new moon. So we'll talk about that later. The next week, there's not a single motherfucking transit. There's nothing happening that I am personally following. So after the intensity of week 1 and week 2, what do? We quiet the frick down and we listen. That's it. I will not give you anything for that week. I'm just going to I'll probably have some leaderships, maybe like a past life tale that we can talk about that week, but there will be nothing. It's just listening and waiting. You planted seeds. You told the God of your understanding what you wanted, and then see what the human does. I'll give an example. So that new moon, you're utilizing it to manifest a significant amount of money. And the next day you didn't win the lottery. The next day you didn't have, nothing came in. There's no check in the mail. How do you respond to the time in between placing your auto with God and trusting God to fulfill the order? When we don't have big transits, we pause, we slow down. We just continuously do our work every single day and act as if. I've given this before. When you go to a restaurant and you order the bolognese, you say, waiter, I would like the bolognese. Waiter says, awesome, puts in the bolognese, done. Do you get up 5 minutes later from the table and go to the little window and tap on the screen, excuse me, into the kitchen? Where's my bolognese? Are you making it? Are you making my bolognese? How long? Oh, there's other people? No, my bolognese, table 16. No, you just sit and you chat and you trust that waiter has tended to the order, that chef is taking care of the bolognese, and that you will get your motherfucking bolognese when the fucking kitchen is finished with your bolognese. So weeks where there's no big transits, there's nothing going on, I really utilize that time to just practice the art of your practice. What is your daily practice? You know? How do you trust? All right, then the next week, the 22nd, what do we got? Mercury's going into Scorpio. Yeah, we had a Mercury retrograde in Virgo, so Mercury's going to be here, and then Mercury's going to go into Scorpio over here. So again, this just says relationships, if they're meant to be, will be maybe starting. Yeah, new moon in Libra. Lots of relationships might be starting as well if you have set the stage and the table for healthy relationships to come in. Yeah, there's only so many seats at your table. So if you are still keeping someone who's unhealthy and like an 8 out of 10 at the table, your 10 out of 10 has no space to sit. So we do have to remove and end the relationships. Or, like I've always said, take the person, decide, do I want you in my life? Yes or no? Do they want you in your life? Yes or no? Can you handle where they are? No. This is what I can offer you. Take it or leave it. And trust God. If they cannot handle the compartment that you are offering to them, that's okay. It will hurt. I'm not going to say that this is easy stuff. It's not easy stuff. But you have to trust and let them be a butterfly. You can't. You'll kill them. Why do you want to keep an 8 out of 10 close by? Why don't you trust God to like provide your 10 out of 10? So Mercury will go into Scorpio, and then the next day the sun will go into Scorpio. Nice. Yeah. 8th house. Deep transformation, death, rebirth, shared possessions. It's the lions and tigers and bears part of the chat. Halloween season, you know? Everybody believes in the woo-woo. Everybody believes in the woo-woo. I'm going to be doing a local small group healing that week, so I'll be putting as much as I possibly can out there locally for y'all. So I'm excited about that. And then the end of the week, the 28th, we're going to have our full moon in Taurus at 5 degrees. So new moons are when the sun and the moon are conjunct in the sky together. So that's where it'll be Libra over here. So the sun will be in Scorpio over here at 5 degrees of Scorpio, and the full moon will be over here. This is the money axis. This is an intense axis. So I'm excited about this because we're releasing old values. We're purging old belief systems when it comes to money. I really have a feeling that a lot of we're breaking some really intense generational curses right now, folks. We really, really are. We really, really, really are. I want to check something really quick in one of my books because I'm fascinated. I have a feeling I know which one it is, but I would like to just... There's a tarot card that corresponds with every single decan of... There's a minor arcana that corresponds to every single decan, so I want to see where. Yeah. So I just wanted to see what tarot card corresponds to the full moon that we have coming up in Taurus, and it's just like I thought. I'm going to find it for you and show it to you because this is about values. This is about yes, some of you, if you have inappropriate money, you're going to lose some of it. If some, like I don't need to give, again, any sort of fear-based content. If you know, you know. If you've been trusting the God of your understanding, if you've been listening, if you know, you know. I don't need to tell you. So this is, let me see, 1 to 10 degrees of Taurus ruled by Mercury. Right? A lot of the times this card can be like recovery, physical illness of some kind, mental illness, or like tragedy. What is the... And this is a Rachel Pollack book. Could not speak more highly of her work, 78 Degrees of Wisdom, as well as, what is the title of this? Tarot Wisdom. So let me see. Life's difficulties. Material trouble. Plowing, sowing, building, earthly wisdom. Physical troubles, financial or health, people helping each other, especially if society fails them. Alternatively, change in physical conditions, whether for good or ill, possibly finding greater meaning in the daily struggles of life. So this is kind of what we've been talking about, where there's no, it looks like a church, right? It represents a church. There's no door. This perceived establishment have left the beggars out in the cold. But they persevere together. Together. They're each other's 10 out of 10. And they're keep on keeping on. So this is where our full moon is falling, our massive eclipse full moon. Like a super, super, super power full moon. I'm going to leave that there. I'm excited to really unpack that later on with you later on this year, or later on this month, pardon me. And then the last little bit of October, we got Halloween. No big transits. Yeah, November's just as exciting. Just as exciting. Let me see. Was there anything else that's really... Jupiter in the sky right now is retrograde at 14 degrees of Taurus. So it will continuously be retrograde, but this full moon will be also. So basically, Uranus over here, pardon me, and Jupiter over here are retrograde in the sign of Taurus. We'll have the full moon highlighting, releasing in the sign of Taurus. So I'm really feeling like collectively, these are still continuous breaking downs of inappropriate structures. Inappropriate structures. I'm not going to go full, like, the whole world is changing and everything's going to shit and everything's crumbling down. If you know what's happening, you know what's happening, and it's for the greater good. Anything that's breaking down was an inappropriate structure and did not serve everyone. There's no person on this planet that's better than you, and you're no better than any other person on this planet. I am not in any way more divine than you. My capabilities, my everything, I'm teaching you how to do the same thing. Yeah, there's no guru on this planet. If they, pardon me for being a little crass right here, but like if they sit on the toilet and they poop the same way that you do, they are no better than you. They do not have more divine, like, knowing than you do. Maybe they've been doing the work longer than you have, and they're ready to offer you, just like the hermit, ready to offer you their teachings, their wisdom, and say, here, I'm not all the way up the mountain looking down on you saying, oh, honey, here's some pebbles. It's like, no, this has worked for me. This has worked for me. Yeah. And I have a whole video on, like, because, you know, I speak from I statements. I have an entire introductory video to, it's called Waking Up Post-Woke. It's an introduction to my human story. And I speak from I statements, and I am definitely a mystic. I went down every single motherfucking rabbit hole to experience personally what was the manipulation, what was the hardships, and then have come back to tell the tale. Aries Sun conjunct Jupiter in the 5th house, obviously. But so it's interesting, very, very interesting. And right now, actually, it's funny. I feel like The moon is going to be like very, very close to where this full moon is going to be at the beginning of October. Like, I just don't have it in front of me. It's on my phone, and my phone is recording right now. So the moon right now in the sky as I record this, it's the last day of September. It's going to be going into the sign of Taurus probably like tomorrow or the next day, the 1st or the 2nd of October. So when the moon is in Taurus, how do you feel? What's going on? What's happening in your life? Because for the full moon, that's a theme. And the moon scoots. Like, this is going to take 20 years. This is going to take 28 days. So like the moon scoots. So I don't follow the daily transits of the moon. I follow the new moon and the full moon. But if the moon is going to be sitting in the sky soon, where it will be in a month where we purge, why not utilize that preview to say, oh, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Sarah was telling me, like, these are energies in the sky. I had this amazing idea pop in my head the other day. So I have a really, really dear friend, acquaintance, client. She's an amazing, amazing person. And she follows my content all the time. And she had asked me, she's like, Sarah, you know, like, I'm a Cancer sun. And when you tell me like the sun is in Libra or the moon is in Taurus, like, what does that actually mean? So I'll use the transit of the sun for this one. If you are, you know, born as, like, I was born as an Aries. That person was born as a Cancer. So she was born in the sign of Cancer. So when the sun in the sky is in the sign of Cancer, it's almost like you have invited us to your hometown. And you're showing us around, and you're like, this is what a Cancer feels like, and this is what it feels like, and this is what we eat, and this is how we act, and this is how we think, and all these things. So you're inviting us over to your hometown. We're not going to become your hometown. We're not going to move to your hometown, but we're going to experience the vibration and the feeling of that. So right now, the sun is in the sign of Libra. So we're all visiting Libra's house, and we're feeling the vibes, and we're, you know, like, it's the same way that if you're visiting a foreign country, I definitely like mirror. So if I'm talking to someone that's from the South, I'm going to start talking like them. And I'm just really just be like, bless your heart, bless your bones, my darling. Oh my goodness. Like, what was the phrase Dr. Stephen Greer said? He's like, look busy, Jesus is watching, or Jesus is coming, stuff like that. Just do some knitting in the corner, girl, and just do your prayers and shit. But then if I'm talking to someone from a different space, when I was in Melbourne, oh my goodness, my Boston would come out in Melbourne because, like, there's no eyes over there, and just it was a good old time. It was a good old time. Like, so that's what it feels like when the sun is in the sky in the season that we're in. Yeah. I can't become a Libra in Libra season, but I can try on the vibrations of it and see what it's going to feel like. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. What questions do you have for me? Please comment below any questions that you have, how you're feeling going into October. What are you really going to be focusing on as far as what you're manifesting for the eclipse season and what you're releasing? It's not like, yeah, it's such volatile, odd energy, yes, but we have to, just like the restaurant, trust. We've given our order. We just have to know that it's coming. We don't need to know when. We don't need to know how. That is not our business. That's not our business. Like, and this triggers my human. What people say about me behind my back is none of my business. That person does not exist. I am not who they think that I am. I'm not even who I think that I am. I am consciousness running this avatar. But every once in a while, I just want to be like, what do people think about me or my human? Oh. But I think that's it. I think that's all I got for us. Yeah, we're in good shape. We're in really, really, really good shape. I did record a Jupiter and Taurus transit, and it was when I had my Patreon group, and I was a little bit like salty because I had so many things that I was putting in there. I've talked about it. I've since closed my Patreon group. I have a donation-based one if you are keen to give back monthly for all of my complimentary content. Absolutely. There are links in my biography if you're keen to tip. That's one of the best ways, or to donate, to really support the work that I'm doing. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's my absolute pleasure. But, and why did I say that? Oh, because in the video I talk about the Patreon group and yada, 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 but I think that I'm going to put that out because it's some good stuff. Jupiter and Taurus. It's the transit in and of itself is a year, and I called it a slow and seemingly unnoticed glow up. So things are slow. It's okay. Things aren't making sense. What's that phrase? I have it up on the wall. Rejection is God's protection. So if something's not slapping, stop knocking. I'm done. I'm going to leave it there. I love you so much. Comment your questions, anything at all. I'm also going to be doing, if I have not responded to one of your questions on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be putting together a Q&A because again, I'm at 40 minutes right now. I do long range stuff. So I'm going to do a Q&A for any of the questions that I have not responded to yet that I feel as though it could be advantageous for the group's growth. So just know that I am not avoiding you. I see and love and appreciate, I read every single one of your comments and I take them very, very seriously, and I'm very, very grateful for all of you. I'm researching the progressed. I really just follow the transiting as well as the natal, but I'm researching more into the progressed so that I can, oh, sorry, I have hair in my eye, speak more eloquently. And I'm not going to talk about something that I am not as well versed in. I'm the first person to say I don't have the answer to that. So I'm doing more research into the progressed so I can chit chat with you a little bit more about that. But for my practice, I follow the natal and I follow the transiting and how those are engaging and activating each other. That's just because astrology is one very intrinsic component to my practice, but there's so many other factors that play into it that my goal is to be able to just study all day long and research as much as I possibly can for all of you and to just be your mystic. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So every single breath is getting us there. See? Buckle up. It's not a scary thing. It's just literally be prepared for anything. Okay, I'm done. Love you.